Hi, welcome to Gehenna Gaming, where we tell dark stories and support inclusivity in gaming. Tonight we're playing Sleepaway, a collaborative storytelling game where the players not only embody a camp counselor archetype, but also the parts of the camp itself. It's a queer summer camp horror game by J Dragon, and you can find a link to the game in chat. Sleepaway may contain themes of body horror, general horror, insects, occult themes, drama, romance, terrifying monsters, and potentially other creepy things. We all know our own lines and veils, and we have a safety system in place to avoid discomfort. But if something starts to freak you out, please take care of yourself first. But before we introduce our players and begin the game, I'd like to quickly thank our sponsors, Die Hard Dice, 1985 Games, yes, Diana, you, and Session Zero Clothing. Use code Gehenna at checkout at any of these companies to get 10% off your purchase. Also, Virtual Horror Con, the world's first entirely digital horror convention, is coming up next month. Learn more and buy tickets at virtualhorrorcon.com. Finally, I just want to wish everyone a wonderful Pride Month from myself, this cast, and Gehenna Gaming. What a wonderful time to be running this particular game. And with that, let's introduce the other players. So let's go around and introduce ourselves. I'll start. I'm Paula. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Art and Audio, and I will be playing Amalia the Heron. To Diana.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Diana D'Amico. You can find me at D'Amico Diana over on Twitter. Today, I am playing Gerty, the ropes keeper of our camp, who does not talk fancy like this.
Good. Hamna, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hamna, and I use any and all pronouns. I am a TTRPG performer, and you can find me on Twitter at @shahid_. Today, I will be playing Umar, who uses they/them pronouns, and they are the fresh blood.
All right, Lex.
Hi, I'm Lex. You can find me online and all over as a redhead vixen. Today, I'll be playing Beau, the lifeguard, who uses they/them pronouns.
And Nikki.
Hi everyone, it's Nikki. You can find me on Twitter at TheWigDM and SladiesATL. And tonight I will be playing Lapis Lazuli, she/they pronouns, the crafter.
Excellent. This game has a lot of rules that we're going to come up as we come up with them. I will explain as we come up to them. But for now, I think that's everything for the intros. So with that, my favorite thing, let's tell a campfire story. All right, so we're going to start in the woods. This camp is a camp we built together, Camp Clear Heights. It is generally a little bit misty and dreary as we've described it, but here we actually have a clear day. It's sunset, and the campers are just starting to wind down their day and go into their nighttime activities. Except one camper has just realized that they lost their inhaler at the ropes course. So Gerty has been frantically looking, or at least has started the process of frantically looking in her ropes course for this missing inhaler. Gerty, what's happening?
You kind of get this very clear picture coming into the woods. Very tall, old trees surrounding a ropes course that's probably seen some better days. It's got some weeds growing underneath it. It's maybe not the best kept. There is a perhaps 10-year-old standing off to the side with their hands on their hips and then occasionally sort of wringing them as Gerty, on her hands and knees, is crawling around underneath the ropes course, sort of mumbling to herself and picking up a stick every couple of feet. Just, no, that's not it. Gosh. And then crawling a few more feet and repeating the process. Well, avoiding all conversation or eye contact with this child.
What does Gertie look like?
Gertie is not super tall, perhaps 5'2", 5'3", with dark hair that's tucked into kind of a old-looking stocking cap, and braided where it sticks out. She's wearing a really oversized shirt, with, people in the know would recognize it as the Horde symbol on it, very large. And do you guys remember those zip-off cargo pants that were popular for like 3 months? She definitely has those on, and is just kind of, everything's covered in a little bit of dirt as she sort of roots around in the undergrowth. I'll find. It'll just take me a second. I'm sure it's around here somewhere.
Miss Gertie, please hurry up.
Well, why did you bring it out here anyway?
I need it for my asthma, Miss Gertie.
Right, but you shouldn't be having asthma attacks in the woods. That's like the worst place. I don't understand.
I can't control my asthma, Miss Gertie.
Okay, all right.
Without my inhaler.
Bernard, I'll find it. Okay, I'm looking. What does it look like again? Just
an inhaler. It's got my name on it.
Well, there are a lot of kids with inhalers. Is yours like red or like?
It's blue, and it has my name, Bernard, on it, spelled B-E-U.
Okay, that's enough. I think that's probably enough for me to find it. You can leave. You don't have to stay and wait.
Bernard does not leave. Bernard stays there. Like, for a second, it looks like he's gonna step back, and then he just
okay
stays there.
All right. Or help. You could help.
You told me not to go near your ropes course unless it was ropes course time.
You don't need to touch the ropes, but okay, just stay over there. But don't talk. You're distracting me. And Gertie will continue to sort of root around in the undergrowth, probably touching some poison ivy in the process, and just mumbling to herself while she's down there.
Gonna, as the woods use a move, lead people together even if they don't want to see each other, and Umar pops out of the woods and at the ropes course.
I think you see Umar, who's this 5'1", really short, light brown skin person, kind of coming through. They are pushing over some of the trees that are around, because I imagine that you mentioned that this was the oldest tree in the woods, correct? Where the ropes course is?
Yeah, we're right beside it.
We're right beside it. So I imagine, because it's so deep and thick into these parts of the woods, a lot of the trees are kind of very close together and are kind of overgrown, and so they're pushing all of this stuff around. Okay. Gertie? Hi. The other counselors are wondering, have you found the inhaler yet?
Gertie is gonna kind of just look back over her shoulder with very narrowed eyes. Umar, if I'd found it, do you really think I'd still be down here?
No, and you notice that Umar is standing like right by the tree line. Imagine this like clearing that has been created for the ropes course. They are staying right at the tree line because they are not allowed technically inside the woods at all, but definitely not around the ropes course. And so they are making a point to stand like right at the edge so that Gertie does not go off on them. And they run their hand through their like long, like elbow length, like brown curly hair. It's the other counselors are getting a little bit impatient. We have other activities to set up for tomorrow morning, and you are kind of important to that process, so
I mean, you're welcome to come over here and help me look.
Are you sure?
Just this once.
Okay.
The sooner you find it, the sooner you can leave, so...
Okay. And Umar's like round face, very like soft features like light up at that, because this is the first time in a very long time that they've been allowed in this part of the woods. And so they almost like run up even with excitement and start like digging around the ropes course. So,
you don't have to talk to look for something.
Bernard has sat down in the dirt and has started using a stick to draw a figurine.
Hey, Bernard.
Yes, Umar?
Where was the last time that you saw your inhaler?
Up there. And he points up to, like, one of the ropes obstacles. Probably one of the, like, super duper easy ones that's, like, kind of challenging for, like, a beginner person. Like, I was up there, and I closed my eyes, and I felt it shift in my pocket, and I thought I caught it, but I think that's where it fell out.
I think that the inhaler is actually sitting right on top of the crossbeam that all the ropes are tied to, because you had it in your hand expecting to have to use it, Bernard, as you were climbing that particular obstacle. So it was just above everyone's eye line, and now it's at the top of the ropes course.
Yep.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh. Okay, well, that's no problem at all. And Umar is going to go over and, like, swing themselves up onto the ropes course and start, like, making their way over towards this crossbeam where the inhaler is.
As Umar gets, like, right up on top of the beam, it's not insignificantly high up. I'm going to use the move Express the Woods Pain, and a large gust of wind moves through this clearing and just knocks the inhaler like inches away from being grabbed, just down to the ground.
No!
God. You're gonna lose it again.
It's right there, and I think they're like hanging off of this crossbeam with their arm like swung down as they had tried to catch it when this gust of wind had blown the inhaler down. Look.
Both hands on the rope. You remember the rules? You're barely a counselor, and you're already showing them unsafe stuff. Bernard, go get your inhaler.
Is it okay if I go get my inhaler?
Yeah.
Okay. And Bernard runs over, and he grabs the inhaler. He dusts it off. Pocket. Okay. He looks up at between the two of you, and he's like, I don't know the way back to camp.
We'll get you there safe and sound. I just gotta make sure Umar doesn't, like hurt themselves coming down.
I'm going to be fine, Gerty. I am a camp counselor after all, which means that I was trained just like everybody else in order to do all of the things that we're supposed to do.
I mean, if you say so, I'm going to use one of my weak moves, which is shatter your friend's trust in you by fleeing. I will walk over, kind of take Bernard by the hand, and just leave.
Oh,
and we're alone at the top of a rope in the middle of the woods.
And there she goes. Okay.
I'm going to use the woods move, lead people together even if they don't want to see each other. And Beau, now sent to find out why no one's come back, bursts into the ropes course.
So Beau comes sort of tromping across the field and towards the rope course, very clearly pre-exasperated by whatever is happening here. And Beau is a somewhat large figure. They're on the taller side. They're about 5'9". They're sort of well built, very much an athletic kind of figure. Always a little brash, always a little sunburnt as they come up. Umar, do you have it figured out?
Oh, fuck, not you. Yeah, don't worry. Gerty grabbed the inhaler. I helped. It was here, and now it's with Bernard. I'm just gonna... Just give me one second. And Umar starts to, like, climb down from the ropes course, but I think because it's Beau, because Beau is here, they are trying to be flashy about it, like, they're like, puffing their chest up a little bit and like trying to look very like competent, like I can do this. And I'm gonna use my weak move, bungle something you were confident you can handle. This is supposed to be the easy course that is only challenging for someone who's not done this ropes course before, and as counselors we've all sort of been trained to be able to do the ropes course, and so Umar's like, I got this, don't worry about it. But instead, I think as they're coming down, their hand slips, and they, like, start to fall.
And Beau watches this happen, and just kind of reaches out for Bernard. Come here. Just, come here.
Oh,
I'm gonna-
okay.
And I'm just gonna make sure Bernard is out of the way of Umar coming crashing down.
Bernard runs around and will stand behind Beau, and actually turns to not watch, like covers their eyes and turns away because they don't want to see Umar fall and hurt themselves.
And Beau is just steel-eyed.
If Bernard is still here, I imagine that means Gerty is still here as well.
I feel like, it was probably one of those things where right as Gerty was turning to leave, Beau came crashing through the woods, and hearing the twigs snapping and, like, the undergrowth ripping probably, like, hurt her physically just a little bit. So she might have just frozen on the spot, and is staring daggers at Beau, who I'm sure probably doesn't even notice, honestly.
Way too focused on Umar.
In that case, because nobody is helping, Umar just falls flat, I think, on their back onto the ground. Ugh. Okay. I meant to do that. Yeah. Bernard, that is how you don't do the ropes course.
You're supposed to have a spotter every time.
Yes.
You
And
had
I was
two
teaching you that.
spotters.
Don't worry, Beau needs some work filling out the incident reports. It's something I think they're going to be getting very used to.
I
Well, why
found
are
my
you even
inhaler.
here?
I'm here because we were still waiting on a camper.
You can't trust me to handle one camper in my woods before...
Well, if I could trust you to handle one camper in your woods, he would have had his inhaler from the beginning.
Well, Bernard has it now. And how many campers did you leave by themselves to come here? We should probably go back to camp now, since you've wasted so much time.
I think this turmoil and Umar falling and Bernard being scared, I am now going to invite the Lindworm to act upon the group. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's just start. Let's just go.
Let's just get into
We're
it.
just starting off with a bang. We all hate each
I
other.
love
The
it.
Lindworm's here. Like, let's do it.
We
Just
are
a
not
reminder-
healthy counselors.
No.
The
camp's failing,
two
guys.
chill ones, the two like everyone let's get together because shit's real are like elsewhere.
I mean, you sent the ones I don't like in here. Like, what are you gonna say?
They did it on purpose.
We literally sent the three starter types into.
Who could have done that?
Rude.
So if you've taken a weak move in this scene, remember you get a token for that. You can track
Yeah.
tokens in your keeper or with dice, whatever you want.
I get a
and
token for calling upon the Lindworm.
That is correct. Calling upon the Lindworm to act upon the group is a weak move that any of us
Weak.
can do. We're all being weak, and I love it. So let's take a look at what the Lindworm can do. So the Lindworm acts through a deck of cards, which we all have the translations for here. So I'm going to draw 3 cards from my cool skull deck, and I am going to see what options the Lindworm has for the play, with one secretly chosen player being the person to decide what the Lindworm actually does. So our first one is the 9 of Hearts, which is Halcyon, a bountiful world, a heavy weight on your shoulders. The second one is 10 of Diamonds, which is fields thick with noxious mud, festering wounds, rabbits with black bile. And they get darker as you move through the suits. And luckily, our third one is the 8 of Hearts, sudden, exciting, blinding light, an enormous sound. So if you are not the Lindworm, stop looking at the Lindworm sheet and look elsewhere. And the Lindworm is actually going to take this time now and select which of those 3 the Lindworm is actually going to do to act upon this group, and has the option to direct it at all of us here together, or the people in the scene, being everyone, or directing it specifically at one character. And yes, so one of us is the Lindworm, and we'll make that decision. But,
Can I ask just a general question?
Yeah.
Diana, the player, wants to know. So obviously, we currently have this scene going on with Beau and Umar and
You.
and me. Yes, Gerty. Forgot my own name. That's how deeply immersed I am. Can you act upon players that are not in the current scene?
So that's a good question. A Lindworm play can end this scene and start a new one. So if it says everyone, it could just be with Lapis and Amalia, the 2 characters we haven't met yet, dealing with this selection. It could be an extension of the current scene, that this thing happens and the 3 players here are going to deal with it. I could interpret everyone as either of those. We can decide. But if it directs at a specific character, that character will likely be either in the continuation of the scene or in the next scene. Okay. That's up to us. And when scenes start and end is up to us entirely.
Okay.
Give it a few more moments to make the selection. Alrighty. Let us jump back into that sheet so we can all see what the Lindworm has selected. We have the 8 of Hearts, a sudden, exciting, blinding light, an enormous sound, directed at Amalia. That's me. So that's my character. So either we can continue this scene with my character being introduced into it, or we jump somewhere else. I definitely have an idea that we can go with. I wonder what y'all are thinking.
I think that Lapis and Amalia were kind of left in charge of the larger group of campers while everyone else decided to go and figure out Bernard's inhaler. That's what I think, but I am open to other.
Maybe back at like the dining hall where everyone's sort of waiting to come together, because eating after the ropes course sort of makes sense.
Yeah, it's the end of the day. Gotta get the kids their dinner right before we have lights out, or not lights out, but cabin. Go to your cabin.
I like the idea of it being at around time for bed for the campers, because then a blinding light can be interpreted in really interesting ways.
So maybe we're at lights out. The trio is still arguing in the woods somewhere. That took a while. And
we're arguing on our way out, like
just this cloud of noise.
That's the enormous sound. That's the enormous sound. Is just a bunch of people that don't like each other. Yeah, I think it could be after dark. Like we're getting the last campers kind of like trying to explain that Bernard not being there is not a big issue. People are like, the woods ate him or whatever it is. And we've been finishing up that. And before we jump into it, what is this blinding light enormous sound? Because we could just jump right into that. Like, is it the trio arguing at the edge of the woods?
I think this one is yours to interpret, Amalia, because it's happening to you.
I think it's thunder and lightning. I think it's going to start raining. I think it hasn't. I think it's that feeling right where
Dry
it's hot
lightning.
and humid, and there's thunder and lightning, but there's no rain. Um, and I think that's happening, just slowly calming down the campers because that's exciting and fun, and sort of just close the last door to the cabin, getting everyone in, and I'm just sitting on the stairs. I feel like Lapis would also be around this area.
Oh no.
Get
Lapis
out.
is with one of the camp cabins. She sees this. Actually, I want you. Is there more that you wanted to encompass into this scene,
Well,
or
I think I hear the thunder and lightning and just start walking towards the lake. I think that's just what's happening now.
okay? And then Lapis, being strangely enough, I feel like opposite is like at one of the cabins, cabin one has the door wide open, propped open, and she's like, "All right, children, gather round. Do you feel the electricity in the air?" And then she does one of these motions as the lightning hits. All the kids are like, "Ah!" She's like,
When the lightning hits, you see like the silhouette of Amalia standing at the edge of the lake.
I
Yep.
think Amalia, while she's standing at the edge of the lake, I'm going to function as the lake itself. Um, Amalia spends a lot of time here, usually when it's clearer. So she's used to the visage of the lake in sort of its serene state, and it's odd to see it so turbulent. It feels wrong. And as Amalia is staring out across the surface of the lake with the raindrops falling on it and that constant disruption of the surface water, she sees what looks to be someone or something struggling below the surface. So the disruption to the surface of the water in this one spot, perhaps 20 or 30 feet out, is way rougher than you would expect specifically from the storm.
I think Amalia's just staring at it, was going to make her way to the dock. Just to describe Amalia real fast as well. She's one of the tall ones. I think we have short and tall people here at camp. Is tall, gangly, super skinny, big round glasses, curly hair that is actually white blonde with very pale skin, and has sort of a small side shave and all of like just super white pale skin with like red joints everywhere, and is definitely sunburned in some places. And she's looking out at this like spot and think like turns around, looks for Beau, like this is not what I'm here to do, and just takes off her shoes and starts walking in to the lake, like not in a hurry, not like it doesn't. I don't see a hand pop out. I just see something weird.
I think you get like a step into the lake and you hear Lapis behind you go, "It's lightning. I don't think it's safe to get in the water."
The water is only safe if the water will protect me. And I take
That
another
seems
step
rather
in.
silly.
Then I suppose I'm silly.
Why are you going out into the lake? You see.
Do you see that?
Also, it is very important to note that Lapis gives Amalia a 6-foot gap. Like that, there is like she's leaning to like talk to you, but there's a very sizable gap between the two of you. By the way, quick description of Lapis Lazuli. She is about 5'3", 5'4". Very tan brown skin. Her hair is a colorful kind of purple in like space buns with scraggles kind of going around. She has arts and crafts supplies kind of covering her, as well as the all manner of art projects decorating her neck and her hair and her arms. She has two colored eyes, one brown, the other a blue colored, and she seems very, very intrigued, very bright eyed, um, looking out at where Amalia is pointing out. Uh, hey, anything. I feel a lot of things. All things at once. She like squints out into the mist.
Amalia, you get the sense that if you just went a little bit further out into the lake, you would be able to see what it is that's struggling underwater. The lake is going to push people apart through coincidence and geography, and it's going to tempt you to just continue away from where Lapis is talking to you.
In response to that, I'm going to use my weak move, get lost in misery and ennui, and walk into the lake. Just not even question it.
Wait.
You
Don't
can come
go.
too. I'm giving you space. You can come in now.
I have to give you space, because of my
I know.
unfettering feelings toward you, and that is why I can't go into the water with you, because it might cause more feelings, and that's why you should get out of the water, because the water causes lots of feelings. I'm using a weak move to confess your love for someone in a way that's just awkward.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Amalia does not turn around at all and has not turned around. It's just, there's room if you want to come in, but if you're concerned about feelings, this might not be the place for you. I'm like up to like my thighs in the water, probably.
I'm concerned about you being hurt in the water, and I can't come to you because of my feelings.
Yeah, of course. I can swim. I'm actually a very strong swimmer. I'm going to use my regular move, remind someone of proper safety techniques. As long as you're here on the beach, actually, this is perfectly fine.
Lapis immediately like looks around and like finds one of the Beau's lifeguard stand and pulls the like looks away from Amalia just for a second to go grab a life server.
I think this is where we emerge from the tree line. You should probably go deal with that.
Another
I think as soon as
and you all appear.
As soon as Beau sees that someone has entered the water in this kind of weather, they are off like a shot.
Beau.
Yeah, so Beau is in the water immediately, straight past you with the life preserver, and is just right in next to Amalia, has her like around the arms.
Oh,
What are you doing?
Am I the only one that sees, like, I'm not far away from it at this point because I've been moving steadily towards it, but there's something under the water. I wanted to see it.
I'm going to use another one of the lake's moves. And I'm going to work to keep a secret from being revealed. So, Beau, when you look out into the water, you don't really see what Amalia is staring at so intently.
There's nothing out here.
Right. Okay, I'm not drowning though. I also know how to swim. Like, is standing up in the water.
When the weather gets like this, currents can pick up the undertows. You can be swept out before you even realize what's happening. Not to mention the danger with the lightning. There's a reason we don't let campers in when it's raining either.
Right. Well, canoes in rain have been fine. I just assumed. I'll turn around and start walking back, but keep looking behind me.
I'm going to use one of my neutral moves to share genuine emotion with others. As Beau still kind of has Amalia, not like gripping them, but is sort of, still keeping hold of them. And is like, I worry about you when you do stuff like this.
I'm going to use my weak move, shut down your own emotions, and I'm not going to say anything. I just look at you like wide-eyed and just keep moving.
I think as the strangeness, playing as the strangeness myself, Amalia, when you take that one last look behind you at this thing, this person you're not quite sure, that's beneath the waters, that only you seem to be able to see, you get a sudden rush of cold wind like rack your body. And I imagine that because it is in fact the middle of summer, it feels unusually cold, like it shouldn't be this cold right now. And when you look out back towards that spot on the lake, you are reminded of something, of a memory from a time when you were a camper yourself, here in this very lake, standing in this very spot, and it sends shivers down your spine. Amalia, what is that memory?
I will describe that memory, but I will also, I think, almost without realizing it, use a strong move, show someone another time and another place, and I think Beau sees whatever this is too. And it's immediately both our visions will go to like a white or a very light gray that it settles onto, as we're both immediately thrust back into the mist too thick to breathe in. The sign of the last coming of the windworm. And where Beau was somewhere else entirely when this was experienced, Amalia was in the lake, actually further in the lake. But this was before that had happened. This is when the mist was still just coming in. And Amalia's standing there terrified, can't see which direction to go in. And it's just like a single moment, single emotion. It feels just as cold. And there's suddenly a glimpse of like a dark figure further into the lake, and then it's back to now.
Are you guys like ready to come in? Because this seems like an odd time to go swimming.
It's a very odd time to go swimming. It's please get them out of the water. There's lightning in the air. You don't know what could happen to lightning when it strikes water.
Y'all just relax. They're just going for a swim. I mean, Amalia's not even, like, what, waist deep yet? Like, she'll be fine.
It's not
safe.
It's just a little rain.
I'm going to use one of my weak moves and completely shut down, because there's no way that I'm going to get across what I need in this conversation. So Gerty is just going to kind of like turn around and walk back towards wherever she knows there are campers that need to be looked after.
And I Lapis will also use a weak move and look at Umar and will ask, why don't you believe me? Oh, no, excuse me. The question is, why don't you believe in me? Oh, yeah. Why don't you believe in me when I say that this is dangerous?
It's not that I don't believe in you, Lapis. Of course, I think you're very competent. You're, don't tell the others, but probably one of my favorite counselors from back when, even just last year. I know that you would be able to have our best interests at heart always, but I mean, come on. It's just a little rain. It's just a storm. Nothing bad can happen out there in the lake.
Umar, when you're a camper, you have to listen to the counselors and believe in them. But when you're a counselor yourself, you have to trust in one another. I trust in you.
And I trust Amalia.
But not me. Not yet. Okay.
Amalia and Oh, go ahead.
And I think as the two of them are kind of like having this conversation, I want to pan back to Beau and Amalia in the aftermath of that memory. Beau, this isn't your memory, but you're still seeing it. Like, how do you react to that?
I think if it was anyone else, Beau would be really freaked out. But Amalia's always sort of taken Beau to this place that's half real and half not. So the fact that it was Amalia here waist deep in the water with them, while it's not good, it's not as scary as it could have been. The most important thing is making sure that we're out of the water and out of this danger. So Beau is continuing to tighten their grip and try to lead Amalia back towards land.
So, you saw that then?
Yeah, I remember that summer.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it to myself, but I'm worried that just happened.
Well, we know what to look for this time. It's not going to be the same.
It was the last time I saw it though, so what I just don't want it to come back.
It's not going to come back. Look, I will keep you safe. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
I would like to invite the Lindworm to act upon the group.
Crap.
I was about to have a little kid come up to you guys and ask about s'mores, but you invite the Lindworm back.
We invite the Lindworm. It's fine.
It's a horror game. What else was I supposed to do?
What's more horrible than carbs?
Truly.
Tell me about it.
Straight to my thighs, am I right? Like, oh.
Our first Lindworm card is the Seven of Diamonds. Becoming lost, desperate cravings, mysterious patterns locking together. We got the Three of Diamonds, which is biting at skin, anxiety, long scrape marks on a tree. And the last one here is the Jack of Diamonds, fire, sudden brightness, fear among the campers. So if you're not the Lindworm, stop looking at all that. And we'll give the Lindworm a moment to do their thing. Alrighty. You can go back into the tab. We got biting at skin, anxiety, long scrape marks on a tree directed at everyone.
Oh boy!
Hooray!
Yes, Gerty.
I think that this is a good opportunity for me to use one of my strong moves.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do
I
it.
think I know which one this might be.
Yeah. I'm going to reinterpret the Lindworm's play by redirecting it through the woods. So, biting at skin, anxiety, long scrape marks on a tree. We're going to say that along the tree line, there's a certain section of trees that we were not supposed to take campers near or anything like that because it's got poison oak wrapped around the entire trunk, and it's kind of just infested that whole area and no one's cleared it out yet. But in the course of this thunder and lightning storm, you guys can see it from the bank of the lake, but Gerty also sees it while they're walking back towards the mess hall. A spoke of lightning comes down from the sky and actually strikes one of those trees that had been blocked off as unsafe for other reasons. And you hear this cracking noise as the tree just kind of splits in two and falls in kind of a V pattern, almost all the way down to the root, tearing away at the poison oak that had encompassed its trunk.
Does that happen in the night, or does that happen immediately after the events of the scene we're in?
That happens right now after you guys have been talking about it's perfectly safe to go swimming.
I'll protect you.
Yeah.
Lapis's eyes definitely go wide, but they also get a little starry. And she's like, "That's right. It's happening. Okay, 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 okay. Everyone saw that one, right?"
Miss Lapis, are you gonna come back in? You gotta finish your story.
Lapis immediately turns and is like, "You must go to bed and dream beautiful dreams of lightning and sunlight and star bright. And in the morning, I'll make sure there are Lucky Charm cereal for everybody."
But you never finished your story. Are you gonna finish your story? Because I can't go to bed without the
Go to
story
bed.
being finished.
I love you.
Can't
Good
fall asleep.
night.
But Miss Lapis, I can't fall asleep without the story being finished. My mom never does that to me. And you just see this anxious, like, small for their
Aw,
age,
yes.
little red-haired, sort of like wild-haired child standing in front of you. We'll name her Cadence.
Lapis sees the child getting more distressed and realizes that her bubbly personality is not the way to go, and she immediately walks up to Cadence and she squats down in front of her and she says, "I can't finish the story tonight. Me and the counselors have to go do a little bit of patrolling around the campsite. There's something that's around here that we don't want to get to the campers. You're not in danger."
What's on the campsite?
And she pulls out her little book and she says, "I think it might be some squirrels or maybe some rabbits, but we need to make sure that they get to a safer home than the one that they're
Rabbits
in
tore
right
a
now."
tree in half?
No, that was the lightning.
Cadence's eyes, wide as dinner plates, are going to kind of flit from one of you to the next one, like waiting for something comforting to take place.
Lapis pulls out her sticker book, and she takes out. She says, "Cadence, I'm going to teach you my protection charm. Are you ready? This will not only keep you safe from any scary thing that will come and get you, but it'll also make you a braver person. I have stickers all over me, and I am very brave."
Okay, if it'll protect me from the tree-splitting rabbits, then I guess I need it, so give me the charm!
Okay. And she pulls open the book and she asks Cadence to pick between a smiley face, a rainbow, or a star.
Those are just stickers!
Yes. Pick one.
The star, I guess?
Okay. And she takes it and she puts it on Cadence's chest and she says, "All right, now repeat after me."
Repeat after me.
Perfect. I cross my heart.
I cross my heart.
And with this star,
And with the star,
nothing can hurt me
nothing can hurt me
without my permission.
without my permission.
Are you going to give the bad things permission to hurt you?
No, that would be dumb.
See? And you're not dumb. You're a very smart, intelligent, brave young woman, right?
I don't want to walk back to the cabin alone.
I will take you back to the cabin. And on the way, I will tell you just a little bit more of my story. Thought that I should have muted. I'll tell you a little bit more of my story, but we have to end on a cliffhanger. And I'll tell you the rest in the morning, okay?
I guess.
I think Amalia and Beau make it to shore by this point.
As Lapis is leading the camper away, she turns to Umar and she says, "Keep everybody here close to the beach. We need to have a discussion about the rabbits." Very serious. And leads Cadence away. I didn't mean to forget the child's name.
Umar just kind of gives you like a little salute and says, "And Cadence, if the charm doesn't work, come back and find me tomorrow and I'll teach you how to fight the rabbits."
The charms always work, and Lapis gives you a
Why
wink.
would
And
the charm work?
Lapis is like, the charms always work.
What do you
The charms always work. Of course they do. Right, Umar? And she gives you a wink, and like you see a little sparkle come off of her eye, and you're like, maybe it's glitter. Maybe it's glitter.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah.
Umar, seeing Cadence getting more anxious at that, says, "Oh, yeah. No, that's not what I meant. I meant the charms are obviously gonna work. They've never not worked for me, personally."
I guess if you say so. Okay.
All right.
And I'm going to do one of the campers' moves, which is remind everyone what they're fighting for. This sweet little innocent being named Cadence, who knows nothing of the ugly things in the world, is exactly who you all need to keep safe.
Bernard and Cadence, we need to protect their innocence. Absolutely, 100%. At all costs.
I think even when Amalia and Beau come out of the lake, Amalia's like a step behind Beau, knowing that she'll freak out Cadence again because it's happened multiple times. So Amalia just like keeps away. Yeah. As they move away, leaves 3 counselors because I think Gerty wandered off.
Well, Amalia, did you find what you were looking for?
I think I found what I was meant to find. Yes.
Do you ever find something you're not meant to find?
Yeah, all the time. You not?
I guess I never really thought about it.
Understandable. Thank you, Beau. That was helpful.
Here for you.
That's good. I think I'm worried about that. And I point at the tree that's like in half now.
I mean, it's a tall tree. Lightning rod. Right? It was bound to happen at some point.
Happens on camps all the time. The tallest trees attract lightning. It's nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah, if anything, that might actually make a really cool place for us to do some games tomorrow with the kids.
Perhaps.
Maybe we don't take the campers directly to where lightning just split a tree in half, but it's an idea.
Well, not right now. I was thinking like tomorrow when the storm has passed and there's no more lightning, you know?
When they don't think it was mutant bunnies.
That's gonna spread quickly.
Yes, it is.
Maybe we could turn that into a fun story? You know, like the other ones that you all used to tell me. Used to tell us.
Oh, yeah. Like you couldn't go into the garbage cans because the ferrets in there bite. I remember telling you that one.
Yeah, and it was not so fun when I set up a trap for the garbage ferrets, which only managed to catch one of the other campers. I think they're still pissed at me for that.
I would be.
You would be pissed at anyone for anything, so I don't think that that's a good metric.
Molly's gonna wander off towards the tree.
I would like to use my weak move, lose your temper and ruin the moment, at Amalia. Where are you going? Get back here, we're supposed to have a meeting.
Is that what's happening?
Thought that's what was happening, otherwise why are we standing out here in the rain?
Wait, I don't get it.
It was to fight with each other. When you two get together, it kind of lasts a while, so I was gonna circle back when you were done.
Wait, why do
So
we
you're just
even
gonna
need
go
a meeting?
wander in the woods.
Yes. I can do that. I like look at Umar for a
can
second,
do
then like
that.
look away. Sure, yeah.
You
This just
shouldn't
seems-
do that.
What's this meeting for? What's happening? Should I get Gerty?
Yeah, probably. At least
Then-
she's got a good head on her shoulders.
I'm gonna walk just towards the woods because usually when I do that, Gerty kind of appears.
That's going to happen. But first, acting as the strangeness, the closer you get to the woods, you think you see something almost right beside the tree that's been struck by lightning. Would you walk closer to see what it was?
I'm already going towards the woods to try and get Gerty, and now I have permission to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna like swing towards that tree because I was already planning.
There's a folded and sealed letter, partially obscured by the dirt, just sort of resting just inside the woods.
I'm gonna just, like, Beau just yelled at me, so I'm not gonna make a show of it, but I'm gonna kind of move down, grab the letter, and, like, keep walking in, and then, like, stand just inside the woods for a moment and knock on a tree, like I'm knocking on a door, just to see if that gets Gerty here. I'm not gonna look at the letter yet because I don't want to show that I have something.
Gerty kind of just like sidesteps out from a tree. And I'm going to use one of my regular moves, which is communicate with silence better than words can, and just kind of again
just turn around, start walking. You were summoned.
I would like to use one of my... Man, I'm just using all my moves here.
There's so many good ones.
I know. I'm going to use another regular move, and I'd like to ask the woods for advice.
If someone has the woods, they can answer, but you can also narrate what that looks like.
I'm just going to kind of like lean against a tree, knowing that I'm going to have to go and interact with the other counselors, and they don't understand what I'm talking about when I talk to them. How do I make it through this?
I think there's silence from the woods at first, and then Amalia just turns around and goes, like, just offers a hand. Like back during Girl Scouts when we both didn't want to do something, but when we did it together, we could just make a game out of it.
Gerty takes like half a moment to just sort of like take a deep breath, get it together, and then she'll take Amalia's hand, but like purposefully walk behind her so that she's not the first in the line of fire when they run into Beau, because she heard Beau yelling. Beau is very loud. Beau projects. So I'm just gonna try and like hang half a step back.
I'm gonna use a weak move, and just a reminder, the questions can be asked out of character, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to ask, why can't your character do this?
Gerty can't do this because she doesn't really come to camp for the campers. She comes to camp because she wants them to get the same thing out of it that she did when she was a camper here, but she doesn't really know how to translate that experience for the new waves of campers coming through. In a way, it's trying to live vicariously through the kids. So she can't do this because she just doesn't know how. She's not a leader. She's not comfortable with the other grups who are leading things here. This is just not something she's used to.
Amalia will nod, like that information is suddenly available to her, just like a reassuring nod, and will like give your hand a squeeze and kind of half bring, half drag you out of the woods. If you want to take a token for my lore, you can.
I was about to say the same thing to you, actually.
Interesting. My lore is every time someone crosses a threshold with your invitation, they get a token.
Okay. I think that counts. Mine is every time someone runs to your woods, you didn't run, to escape a problem, the argument that was happening, you get a token.
We'll trade tokens then. I think that's
okay. I'm good with that.
Amalia, you might also have a token from me. When someone has your help to stay afloat, they gain a token. And with you going out into the waters.
I'll take it. Sure.
All right.
I'll take all the tokens I'll get. But yeah, I think with that, Amalia and Gertie come into this in process argument, I assume, at the edge of the lake.
Oh, yeah. I figure Beau and Umar are arguing about, I don't know, Beau is probably trying to quiz them on, like, the handbook. Like, so what do you do if a camper says they have the chicken pox? No, that's not right.
You tell them to eat chicken soup.
No, you don't. You take their temperature, you
It's-
call their
It's a joke because it's the chicken pox, you know?
It's not a joke when
Chicken,
campers have
chicken.
chicken pox.
It's
Gertie.
just the chicken pox, Beau. It's not
Oh,
like
you say
they've
that
got the
now
plague.
until you have an outbreak. Have you ever been
I
at summer camp when there's a chicken pox outbreak? Because I have. It sucks.
I think in the span between Amalia getting Gertie from the woods, and Beau and Umar arguing, Lapis returns, and she looks between them and she just says, she's going to she's going to use a regular move, and give a friend an honest compliment. And she turns to Beau and she says, Beau, thank you so much for being so instructive with Umar's education with other things here at camp, but Umar's coming in with fresh eyes and fresh ideas, and they need to be seen and heard just as much as everybody else's. So give them
Oh,
the
I'm
space
seeing
to
and
do
hearing
so.
them.
Yeah, Beau, back off.
You shouldn't even be a counselor yet. You didn't even barely pass the training.
You were the reason that I am a counselor now and not 2 years ago like I was supposed to be.
Now
Yeah, and you
that
wouldn't be a
we're
counselor
all-
now yet either.
now-
Lapis will actually do another regular move and get in between the two of you, even though that's taking an action and leaving yourself vulnerable. I'm vulnerable to Beau smacking me. She gets in between the two of you and she says, that's enough. There are many things at work, and you two arguing will not only disrupt what's going on, but it also might wake the campers.
Fine.
Please wait for Amalia and Gertie to get here and talk.
Okay.
Fine. What do we even need to talk about anyway?
Not going in
Magic.
the water in a lightning storm.
Oh, the magic.
Or magic. Magic's another option.
I think we come up now.
Very serious, very serious.
It's the
The
two
magic.
of us. I'm like dragging Gertie behind me, but like I don't really block her physically because I don't take up much space, so I just sort of try and stay in front. So there's a meeting.
Meeting on the beach.
Could we maybe go inside? I soaked through.
Sure. Where? Actually, and I'm going to use one of my strong moves, and Lapis is going to pull out a deck of cards, tarot cards from her pocket, and she's going to pull one. She says, "Where should we have our meeting?" Oh,
I'm already walking towards the nearest building.
it's the old cabin. I'm interpreting my card draws.
I say,
I fall into step pretty quick behind Gertie.
yeah, I'm being dragged now, so I'm going
I would
along.
not have let go of Amalia's hand, so.
Aw, I
Yeah.
love it.
I think we all kind of march over. I don't think the walk is necessarily important to show. I think we're just at the old cabins.
yeah.
And we're sort of in the dilapidated cabins, covering ourselves slightly from the rain.
Why are you so wet, Amalia? I mean, I know it's raining, but it's not.
What? Oh, I mean, I guess it is the rain. I was in the lake earlier. Is that what you're asking?
Rain can't get you wet, I guess.
Yeah.
No, just
Little
curious.
lightning swim.
Yeah, there was something in there. I think I found it.
Oh, there's something everywhere right now. Can you not? She turns away from the other three and turns to Amalia, and again, still like
We're on
she doesn't-
opposite sides of the cabin.
She
yeah.
doesn't need to like step away. There's just this always perfect 6 feet between her and Amalia. She looks directly at you and she says, You can feel it, right? Like it's
back.
the magic. Yes.
Oh, the
Well,
magic. Yeah.
The magic. But the magic shifts and changes when it's back.
Yeah.
So this is what we're meeting about?
Wait, why are we meeting about like campfire stories? I thought we already have all of those planned to tell the kids. Like, I don't really think we need to. I mean, this is cute and all that you want to like write a new one. It seems like, but
Look, Umar, this is one of the reasons I really didn't think you were ready to be a counselor, but sometimes things go wrong at camp in ways you can't explain.
what do you mean? Like somebody didn't order enough snacks for all of the kids, and then now we have a riot on our hands. Little 10-year-olds running around demanding their Mars bars. Is that?
No, this is just kind of a weird place.
I mean,
Where weird things happen.
And they're happening again.
Well,
Maybe.
hold on. That's a little much.
It happened once.
What makes you
Once.
think they're happening again?
I'm gonna invite the Lindworm to act upon the group.
Is that an in-character decision to prove
I
yourself?
don't know.
Amalia's like, I must.
I like using that move, but actually, with that, I'm gonna have us take a quick break, and we'll jump back in with what our Lindworm decides to do. I'd like to once again thank our sponsors, Die Hard Dice, 1985 Games, and Session Zero Clothing. Thank you for making this game possible, and check the chat for links for those amazing companies. See you soon.
Easy to.
I'm bored.
We can go scream at the cat for another hour.
Nah, I'm tired of screaming at the cat.
Shut up with that! Be bored no more with 1985 Games. Enjoy their vast variety of products and help bring your tabletop to a whole new level. With easy-to-use dungeon sticky notes. The deck of stories holds prompts and adventure hooks for any setting, and thousands of cutout game pieces with their dungeon craft.
You've come all this way for nothing, fool! The princess is mine! You'll never get away with this, Balakor!
Write everything down in your Hero Notes journal and start your adventure today! Visit the World Wide Web address 1985games.com and find many helpful products such as their Dungeon Craft series, battle maps, deck of stories, miniatures, dungeon notes, and now VHS dice. Again, that's 1985games.com.
And welcome back to Sleepaway. A reminder that this is a horror game, horror, and you might see some body horror, insects, occult themes, drama, romance, terrifying monsters, and other creepy things. Take care of yourselves and just know that creepy things might happen, so take care of yourselves and all of that. So we ended on a Lindworm play, so let's see what the Lindworm has to say about all of this bickering that we're doing.
I bet he's in favor.
I can imagine, although the first play from the Lindworm is the Six of Hearts, innocent laughter, fumbling hands, a half-hearted lie. Oh wow, we're getting a lot of hearts. 4 of Hearts, new friends, community, a figure on the woodline, gone in an instant. Oh, there we go. And the last one, 2 of Clubs, jolted awake, reality melting, campers having nightmares during the day. Ooh. If you're not the Lindworm, get out of the tab and let the Lindworm do their thing.
You're like, get out of here.
Sorry, I was literally trying to find a tab that wasn't on the Lindworm, and I was like, oh no.
Close your eyes.
Ah, so we know that it's not you.
Interesting.
I don't know. That feels like a misdirect to me.
And so the
Never
game
know.
within a game begins.
This is a mystery.
So many games of Night of Werewolf. You'll never catch me.
All right, let's jump back in and see what the Lindworm has selected. New friends, community, a figure at the woodline, gone in an instant, directed at Umar. Just you. It sounds like you're muted, actually.
No, I know. I was.
Oh.
It's all good.
Got it.
Yeah, that wasn't out loud. That was me mostly thinking to myself, it's fine. Please cut this part out in post, whoever is editing. Thank you. Be kind to me.
So it's directed at you. I think we're all in this abandoned cabin having this discussion. What do you see? What's happening with you?
Everybody is talking around Umar about magic, about something weird that happened years ago and that is happening again, presumably. And I think Umar is just kind of sitting there on the ground, like legs crossed, hands behind their head, just kind of like lazily watching everybody. Not really sure what's going on, to be perfectly honest. they're not sure if we're collectively writing a new story to tell the kids, like a new campfire story, or if this is just like what y'all like to do when you hang out afterwards as camp counselors. And so they're kind of just like not paying full attention to the conversation. I think their mind is wandering, and so their eyes start to wander. And from a window across the cabin, I think they are kind of sitting on the same side as Amalia, and so they look over and they see Lapis, and they see the window just behind Lapis. And from that window, you can see out into the forest. And within the forest line, I think they see a figure, a tall, like enormously tall, impossibly tall figure. Thin, with these arms that seem to almost like sag onto the ground, and eyes that don't have any sort of semblance of life in them. They're just kind of pure white. And they kind of like don't really see it at first. And then they notice it and they flick back. And then it's gone. And Umar is going to turn to Amalia, who they're sitting next to. Did you see that?
What did you see?
Outside in the woods, I saw someone, I think.
Describe it.
Tall, thin, and not... I must be really tired, to be perfectly honest, I think, because it was not what any person here looks like. Well, for one thing, nobody here is as tall as a tree.
Well, not yet.
I would like to use one of my strong moves. And please, Paula, you've played this more than anyone here, so tell me if this isn't an appropriate usage of this. I want to use the wood's impact on someone else, because I feel like, and Umar, tell me if I'm wrong, Umar thinks that this was just like a trick of the light, like just something good.
Yeah, I think Umar's like rationalization of what they just saw is, it's been a long day. I hit my head earlier because I fell off of the ropes course. Like, am I really seeing things properly? Probably not. Like, that was probably just a tree and like the wind, the rain.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to use the wood's impact on someone else, and
can you tell us what the wood's impact is? What you selected that to be?
Umar kind of, sort of, not losing it, but like a little bit losing it right here. And sort of losing that firm footing where she was like, they were like, I should have been a counselor 2 years ago. Like, I'm every bit as qualified to be here as you. And Gerty is going to kind of take the loss of that control and run with it and just, look, if you guys can't figure out how to lead this place together, then I'm not even gonna try with you. I would like to go to bed. It's late. We have stuff to do in the morning. So you all should figure this out amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna go.
Lapis will grab your hand. Or
I will immediately pull it away.
Sorry. You should go to bed and get some sleep. But just, if something just seems off, trust your gut and come and tell us, okay?
Gertie, let me walk back with you. We should go in pairs, and I'll take your hand.
Okay, like, fine. Umar, you should be getting some rest too, it seems.
Yeah, I think so. There's an odd number of us. Amalia, by the way.
I will walk back. I don't want any shouting. So, it'll disturb.
I'm already pretty upset.
we got to deal with rabbits in the morning, so.
Or I could walk with Queen. That could also work. A bridge.
You walk Umar back to their cabin. I'll do one last swing around the camp, make sure all the cabins are closed down, make sure everything's handled for the night, make sure no one else has gone for a midnight swim. I'll take care of that stuff.
Yeah, and maybe check the woods just one last time, just in case.
There's nothing wrong with the woods.
I will check the woods, even though there's nothing wrong with the woods. There's nothing wrong with doing one last check of the night.
Come on,
It's your
Gerty,
gut
we
too.
can-
Magic talks in your gut. Why mealtime is very important.
There are other things that talk in your gut too, so pay attention. I'm gonna start dragging
listen to your
Gertie out the
guts.
door.
Yeah. Look up.
And Lapis will look at Umar and we don't have to. But
Sorry,
we'll be
do you mind
stronger.
saying that one more time a little bit
Sorry.
louder?
Yeah, we don't have to hold hands if you're not comfortable holding hands, but the magic will be stronger if we hold hands.
Oh, and I think Umar like blushes a little bit at that. We can hold hands, sure. And they like wipe their hands on their pants a little bit just to make sure they're not like sweaty. Yeah. Let's go.
Great. And she'll take your hand and so what did you see?
I just saw, honestly, it was probably just a tree. It's raining out, and so it's kind of hard to see things. But what I initially thought that I saw was like something really tall, really thin, these arms that just went on forever, it felt like. And his eyes were creepy.
I'm gonna use a regular move and ask in character, even though I know you're supposed to say it like not in character. You want to talk about it? What you saw?
Sure, Lapis. Although, to be honest, I don't really think that there's that much to talk about. It's just a tree, right? And I think Umar is looking at Lapis with expectation in their face. Like, you are going to tell them that, yeah, it's just a tree, everything's fine.
Well, a tree could also be a rope's course, or a hiding place, or a danger, and she points to the split tree. What is your gut telling you about this tree?
It doesn't feel real.
Your gut or the tree?
That's a good question. Honestly, maybe both.
Okay. You're still learning all of that. It's we tried really hard to make sure that, things weren't really scary, but it's your first foray into all the new and exciting and strange and magical things. So you still have a long way to go, but I know you'll get there. You have a way with seeing things that others can't see. You found Mackenzie's earring last year, actually. I remember that. It's really good.
I did. And Umar stops in their tracks, and because they're holding hands, I think, like, pulls Lapis to stop as well.
She definitely has a moment where she's like, oh.
And they look at Lapis dead in the eyes, and Lapis is, like, considerably taller than they are, so they're, like, looking up at her. You're all acting like this is real, like there's something that's going to hurt us here. And I know that you all used to tell stories at over the campfire to all of us campers before, about a strange threat lurking around the camp. But that was just a story, right? I mean, you don't actually believe any of that, do you?
I'm actually going to now use one of my strong moves. And Lapis is going to turn and face you. That, like, jovial kind of nature that she always seems to have. Suddenly, it's still there, but now there's a very serious expression on her face, and her one blue eye, you watch as it turns gold, as she comes over and takes your other hand, and she looks at you, and she says, the strong move is, have a conversation defined by pure honesty. Umar, you are a camper here. Nope, you are a counselor here now. Correct.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you learned how to drive?
I do. It was terrifying.
Do you remember
Maybe a left turn, just like going into oncoming traffic. I mean, who thought that was a good idea?
learning how to merge and using your blinker and having to keep an eye out of dangers that may or may not be coming? And having to look at all the signs that once you didn't really pay that much attention to when you were a child, but now that you're driving, they're all there. And now you must be aware of them at all times.
Yeah, but I mean, the worst that can happen here is somebody goes into the lake when they don't know how to swim, or somebody falls off the ropes course, right? I mean, that's not magical, that's just regular life.
You are going to start seeing more signs that at first you'll feel like you don't need to notice. But they're real, and you need to deal with them as seriously as a camper going into the lake when they should not be. And you promise me that you'll at least keep an open mind. Come get one of us when something feels off.
Umar, staring at that one eye that had shifted color from blue to gold, still not quite processing that this has happened in front of them, that they witnessed this happen, still trying to rationalize that there's an explanation here, there is something very normal behind all of this, says, yeah, I can definitely let you know if something feels off. And you can sense the hesitation in their voice as they say that. Like, they're saying this and they will probably act on it, but they don't quite believe it. They don't quite believe that there's something magical or sinister in this camp.
I'm counting on you to give us fresh eyes. Like I said before, I know you'll be a huge help with us this year, making great memories for the campers, just like you used to have. But in ensuring they have good memories, you have to be vigilant. Okay?
Okay. And I think the two of them kind of like
boops you on the nose. The gold eye turns back to blue. She says, "We need sleep."
Okay, but I'm not a kid anymore, so you don't have to do that.
I do it to everybody. But only the ones I actually like, and the ones that I feel comfortable doing it. Would you like me to stop?
I don't want you to not like me or be uncomfortable around me, so I guess not.
Also, you could only make me not like you if you told me that you didn't like me and wanted me to stay away.
And I think from that, the two of them kind of like holding hands will walk back to their cabins, and there's this lingering feeling of dread and unease left in the air behind them.
And that's a good place to end that scene. Gerty, what I noticed you raised your hand too with that. What's Gerty and Amalia doing? I'd like to know that.
Well, Gerty and Amalia probably know each other a little better than some of these other interpersonal relationships because they're around each other constantly outside of the camp environment, even though they met here years and years ago. So much so that Gerty can read Amalia, even though Amalia's pretty out there. And there's just something in Amalia's posture, maybe a tension that they're carrying that just doesn't feel normal for Amalia. And so after probably a minute of silence while they're walking together hand in hand, Gerty is going to come to a complete stop and still holding on to Amalia's hand. I'm going to use one of my regular moves and ask, what is your character hiding from mine?
I think when you stop, Amalia immediately looks towards the lake again and is just staring out. And there is, I mean, very clearly, Amalia fully believes that the lindworm is back. And something happened between Amalia and the lindworm on the lake and keeps looking back towards that. And doesn't want anyone to be scared, but also doesn't want what happened last time to happen again or anything worse to occur. And so when you stop, Amalia like whips around to look at the lake again, just given the opportunity to do so. Well, we stopped. We need something.
Something's wrong.
You can feel it too?
Feel it in you.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen again.
How sure are you?
When I was out on the lake, I was back there. I was put back to the thing that happened last time. Just in my head, I saw it again. And I wasn't, at least I didn't feel like this before that happened. So I don't know what's going to happen again, but I know something's happening.
I'm going to do another regular move and physically turn us so that my back is to the lake and I am directly in between Amalia and the thing that is making her so tense and anxious. And I'm just going to take her other hand. We're different now. It's not the same.
You too?
Yeah.
Well, that's comforting, I guess.
Maybe you shouldn't go by the lake as often as you usually do.
You think that's going to do anything? 'Cause I mean, I can just like not teach canoes tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to help.
I think it'll help you. Beau will be bad, but I think it'll help you.
Is it weird I don't fear Beau? Am I the only one?
Yes.
Okay. I can try and stay away. I mean, I can go to the woods instead if I just need some space. I assume. That wasn't me just putting myself in the woods. I mean, if you're not okay with that, that's.
Well, no, it's fine if you're in the woods. It's just sometimes where you go, Beau tends to follow, and I don't know what to do when she's around. When they're around.
I mean, I just, everyone starts fighting each other when Beau's around. I know that.
I don't mind the
but
fighting.
what are you scared of?
Nothing. We should go and get some rest. I think you need to.
I am going to come in as the field and invite a moment of healthy communication and ask Gerty, why is it that you want to protect Amalia specifically so badly? I mean, obviously you care about all of the campers, all of the counselors as well, but it seems like you and Amalia have a particular bond. What is that motivated by? And how does that influence the way that you're approaching this conversation?
Gerty knows what Amalia went through. Maybe not the actual events or exactly how things happened, but she witnessed the aftermath. And the aftermath lasted way beyond camp. The aftermath led to, I don't know, she missed a couple of Girl Scout trips and some 4-H meetings, and Amalia wasn't around for the better part of a month. And Gerty was truly alone without that. As much as Gerty distances herself from everyone else, being truly alone is the most frightening place you can find yourself. And she doesn't want that to happen again. Not just to her, but to Amalia, because she knows Amalia felt that too. And it's influencing this conversation because it's making it easier to show concern and to voice what might be considered very vulnerable feelings, and to show the anxiety that is now welling up inside of Gerty on Amalia's behalf.
I think in that pause when Gerty has these thoughts, I think I'm gonna use one of my strong moves and ask, what does your character need right now? And I think Amalia asked that. Like, what do you need right now from me? And both hands are being held still.
I need you to help me make sure it doesn't happen again. I don't want that for you or for anyone. Not for the campers, not for us, not Beau, not for Lapis. Not for Umar. I need you to tell me that it'll be all right. That it's not going to happen the same way.
I will make sure of it. Keep me away from the lake, and it'll be fine.
And in this moment, as we kind of like turn and continue towards the cabins, I think, I'm going to do a weak move and allow the woods to feel unsafe for me. Kind of glancing over my shoulder at, where the lightning had struck the tree earlier, and feeling how big and how imposing that space is. How the woods feel different at night. How they seem to change as we make our way back to the cabin and prepare for what I'm sure will be a restless night's sleep.
Amalia senses that, and as we get closer, just tugs the hand I'm holding in closer and just puts an arm around you if you allow. Like, protectively more so than anything else.
Gerty allows it, but you do, like, feel her tense beneath your touch, just, like, a little bit. Just, like, it's not something that she's used to.
Beau.
Yes.
What are you up to?
So Beau, having been left alone and probably pretty familiar with that as the person who views themselves as the real responsible adult here. All these kids and their drama that I'm definitely not a part of. Beau is going to do exactly what they said they were going to do, and holding nobody's hand at all, check on the bunks, all alone, go past the woods just like Umar asked, because as much as I don't believe Umar should be a counselor, that doesn't mean I believe they should be disregarded. I don't think that they're dumb, even though I'd never tell them that.
As the woods, you do your pass by, almost flippantly, because you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna check this out and we can be done. Go to bed. While you're passing along the tree line, as you're sort of walking towards where the tree was struck by lightning, like, it's maybe 200 yards off. You're actually closer to where the woods backs up towards the sneaking path and then the lake right now. You don't see any shadowy figures with very long arms. You don't witness another lightning strike. But what you do see are, for the first few feet into the woods, there are little scraps of fabric tied to specific tree limbs, as if it's marking a path.
And Beau walks towards these scraps, the logical part of them being like, this is just something Gerty has set up, they're obviously preparing a new ropes course, this is totally fine. And the other part of Beau just panicking as they try to convince themselves it's not happening again, it's not happening again. And I would like to use a weak move to invite the Lindworm to act, as I stand there convincing myself that this is totally fine, nothing is wrong.
But it wasn't fine.
But nothing was fine.
But nothing was fine.
I said we should walk in pairs. It shouldn't matter that there's 5 of us.
All
right.
I'm an adult. I'm a grown-up. I don't need a buddy system.
Like, math
To
doesn't
imagine that you're
matter.
like barely 17.
Yeah, right. I figure I'm the oldest of the counselors by like a week and a half.
Yeah, we're all over 18. But
I'm
like,
actually
we're all...
2 days older than you, but I've never bothered to say anything because I'm afraid you'd fight me about my birthday.
Yes. No, I'm the oldest, Gerty.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as the youngest who is 18 years old, I think Beau is definitely older than that by a bit.
So the Lindworm.
Yes.
The first card, oh no. The first card is the 10 of clubs. Sudden attack, destruction of safety. 1 camper's bed was destroyed by sharp claws. Who? The second one is the 4 of diamonds, which is uncertainty, a dark cloud overhead, a scar you don't know where it came from. And the last one is the 2 of hearts, young love speaking up, a hollow sense of unease. I If you are not the lindworm, don't look at that. Look somewhere else. Let the lindworm do their thing.
I regret my decision.
Maybe it'll just be young love. Maybe you'll find
That would be nice.
Young love all alone here in the forest. That can't be bad either.
You
I
fall in
mean-
love with yourself. You find
Oh,
self-love
look at that. I
in the
love it.
forest.
So we have a selection that's been made. The 4 of diamonds. I just scrolled away from it. Uncertainty, dark clouds overhead, a scar you don't know where it came from, directed at Beau. Who could have guessed?
Am I allowed to kind of lay something out for you as the woods before you interpret how this works?
Yeah, totes.
Why not?
So as you're kind of like internally panicking, but also talking yourself down and leaning into the woods to see what this path actually marks, you catch just in the faintest light from one of the lampposts, let's say, that's on the property, just in the faintest little bit of light, the water-worn boards of the bottom of a rowboat rest just inside the woods.
Do these scraps of fabric appear to be leading towards this rowboat, or do these appear to be separate things?
The scraps of fabric lead directly to it. You wouldn't have noticed the boat without the fabric there.
So, with uncertainty now dogging every step Beau is taking, because it is becoming undeniable that it's happening again, despite what they're trying to tell themselves, Beau continues to follow these scraps of fabric towards this rowboat in the forest. And they come up next to it and just sort of hesitate to put their hands on it as Lapis's words echo in their head, trust your gut. But Beau in their forthright way is just like, my gut tells me nothing but I'm hungry, and puts their hands fully on this rowboat, because either it will be a real thing, and that is fine, or it will be a figment of my imagination, and that is fine too. And... you're muted.
I think that in your determined action, when you place your hands on the rowboat, you do it with enough pressure that the bottom of the rowboat caves in and crumbles beneath your touch.
That works with the thing I was going to do, actually.
What were you going to do? I was going to
Give me all your
Gonna
things.
act as the strangeness and use the strangeness move, cause injury under mysterious circumstances. And I think this goes with the Lindworm's play of a scar you don't know where it came from. And when you push down, you feel pain in your hands as you get a rather large number of splinters, or at least that's what it feels like, all at once, as if like it crumbled, but it also crumbled with enough force to have injured you in the process, and you feel your hands. Nothing major, you're not bleeding, but it's like touching very old wood and like running your hand along it.
And at the same time that this boat crumbles beneath your hands and you feel this sharp pain shoot up your arm, you can see, because you are looking down at the ground to look at this boat, you can see the mist from the lake roiling off on the dirt floor of the forest, just an inch thick on the ground. Nothing thick enough to impede your breathing or anything like that. It's just on the ground, crawling around you, as if the mist itself were smoky tendrils, fingers wrapping themselves around your ankles.
And then
Gimme.
there's a light underneath that broken canoe. You swear there was nothing there but broken, dead wood. But then a light flickers on. There's a flashlight. As the magic has given you an unexpected.
Alright, so Beau is having a bit of a moment to themselves right now. As in their determination to prove this fake one way or the other, all of these things have happened to them. And they have their hands dive through this old wood, and these splinters hit them, and they realize that they are all alone in this forest. They have not only allowed the people who would be their friends to go off without them, but encouraged them to leave Beau by themselves. They have chosen this lone role of responsibility and solitude. And they don't really know why they keep making this decision, why they keep forcing themselves away from the people who could very easily be friends and family to them. And as this mist or this fog starts creeping in around their ankles, Beau dives their hand back forward into this rowboat again, just hoping that there isn't another sharp splint of pain going up their arm, and grabs onto the flashlight and turns it onto this fog, full Alan Wake style, to try and beat it back away from them.
And as you shine the light...
Go ahead.
And as you shine the light onto the mist, onto the fog that is creeping its way along the ground and along your legs as well, it's as if you fed the mist somehow. It seems insatiable, it seems hungry, and it continues to come even faster and faster, as if a wind had pushed this mist along, but you don't feel the wind having picked up around you at all. The mist is unrelenting.
So Beau is trying to make their way out of this forest and away from the fog without really having much luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my strong moves, keep pushing forward even if everything tries to stop you, to get out of the forest and get away from this. And Beau, in pure Beau manner, once again comes crashing out of these woods, stomping down brushes, whacking away branches from them, just full-bore bull in a china shop style, like they've never been in a forest in their life before.
As you break out of the wood line and finally hit sort of a more open field with the bunks, you feel suddenly flooded with that humid warmth of the camp, and you realize that the woods has been freezing this whole time. And you didn't notice it must have come with the mist, but as you break out, it becomes warm again and humid again instead of the dry cold of whatever was chasing you.
As you look down at your hand, at what you thought was a flashlight, it's merely a stick. There's a little gold star on the end.
And Beau feels silly for a second, but I have been around Lapis enough to know that while magic might not be real, per se, there's definitely something about Lapis that makes it a little more real. So I'm just gonna slide this star-stickered stick into my back pocket for definitely won't be later use at all. And finally has the courage, now that I'm sort of under this lamplight, to look down at my hands and look for whatever damage all these splinters have done. And that's when Beau realizes that there is no damage to his hands currently, but there is a crisscrossed pattern of scarring that wasn't there this morning, it wasn't there this afternoon, it's never been there before. It looks like they reached their hands into brambles a long time ago. But they didn't, and they know that those weren't there. And Beau is gonna make his way back towards the cabins. The campers are safe, I checked them first, and that was what mattered.
So Beau and the rest of the counselors sleep for the night, to whatever degree that entails. At least attempt to sleep for the night. maybe we have one more scene here the next morning.
If I may
Maybe-
suggest something.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go.
I was going to say, we as the counselors were having a rather interesting night, but I wonder what were the campers up to while we were doing that?
A great suggestion. We actually have a ritual for that.
Yes.
So this game has what's called rituals, which are temporary breaks in the rhythm of the storytelling, where we can take a look at some other piece of storytelling or create a whole new rhythm of our own. And there are a handful that we have access to now, and perhaps some more that we'll gain access to over the course of the game. And the one that I think is being referenced here is the ritual called A Moment of Identity. So let me read about that real quick, because I think we're going to do it. Sometimes campers gather in secret places and talk about their feelings in darkness or behind staff's backs. This isn't a space for the staff, but instead hidden moments for campers to grow as people. Someday soon, they'll be older and they'll have learned much about the world, but for now, they are campers. This ritual is for when you want to develop some camper characters further in a space not defined by the core conflicts of the game between other characters. For this ritual, each player must put aside their normal characters and pick up a camper character from what we've established so far, or if we don't have enough, perhaps make some new ones. And with rituals in this game, there is a phrase that starts the ritual. There's a phrase that ends the ritual, and while inside of it, we can only do the moves that we're limited to written on the ritual, which we can all see, I hope. But before we do that, who wants to play? Let's pick some campers for ourselves. I think we have Bernard and Cadence as options, and then we can make 3 new ones.
Would somebody like the honor of playing Bernard? Or should I take him back up?
I think you should play
Cadence.
Bernard.
Okay.
You should reprise your role as Bernard for us.
Right.
I kind of want to be Cadence.
Do it. You
This
will.
seems
I'm going to
fun.
make a new character for us. Their name is Anahara.
All right.
I'm gonna throw that in there. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
toss that in there. Really. And then Dinah and Lex, who do you want to play? Who do you want to create?
Let's see. Let's do. Oh man. I want to be a morbid child.
Don't we all?
Yes.
A little boy named Gomez.
Yes. Oh my
Excellent.
god.
I am going to play Byron, a little boy who is very spooked by Gomez, who does not like scary stories or ghost stories or anything like that.
Excellent. So we have our little campers. Should I read through what we have, or should we just jump into the ritual? See how it goes.
Let's jump in the ritual. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay. Anyone can start then.
Okay. Is everyone here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Uh-huh.
What exactly are we doing?
And it was a
Playing
game,
really
right?
cool game.
What kind of game?
Well, we have a few we could choose from. How about Truth or Dare?
I like Truth or Dare.
Okay. Truth or Dare. All right. Okay.
I'm going to go first. Gomez.
Yeah.
Gomez. I dare you to tell us which one of us here you have a crush on. Because I know you have a crush on somebody. You just won't say it.
Ooh.
It has to be someone here.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Isn't
do
that a
counselors
truth,
count?
Well, like, I'm daring you to... Okay, fine.
It's a truth, though. You're asking Gomez to tell the truth, so it's a truth.
Okay. Instead, then, I dare you to sit next to the person that you have a crush on.
Gomez stands up and then kind of walks to, I'm guessing we're in a cabin right now. So Gomez is going to walk towards the back of the cabin where there's like a little supply closet that's always locked. And Gomez sits down beside the supply cabinet.
You have a crush on the cabinet?
That's weird.
No, the ghost.
There's a ghost in the cabinet?
There's a ghost in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys
You
haven't
have a crush
seen
on
her?
the ghost.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. No, there's a beheaded woman. She walks around at night. You guys will probably see her later.
Wait.
We're
Do you
not
think
telling
that this?
stories. We're doing truth or dare.
That was the truth.
Is
That's
this
not
your
the
truth?
truth.
There.
When did you
My
even
mom says
see?
ghosts aren't real.
Okay, well, if you just want to believe your mom about it. I
Yeah,
saw
that's
it.
kind of
Yeah.
like, how old are you? Come on, you can't just believe everything your mom tells you.
Well, I believe her that there's no such thing as ghosts.
Well, even if the ghost hurt us, I'm protected. I have the sticker, so I'm not going to get hurt. I'm protected.
I don't think that's what that means.
No.
It
That's,
is.
No, Miss Lasley likes to pretend that those stickers do anything, but I'm telling you they don't. If anything, I think that's Miss Lasley's attempt at keeping tabs on us. And I think that we should stage a little bit of a, what are they called? Like a protest, and we should just take them all off.
I feel like ghosts really like stickers. Like they're attracted to them.
Miss Leslie's a witch, I think.
Yeah, that tracks.
I
That
don't think
actually
she's a
believe-
witch. My mom told me that witches live in the woods. So if anybody in here would be a witch, it would be Miss Gerty.
Miss Gertie's a witch too. Maybe they're all witches. Beau yells a lot for a witch.
Oh my god, maybe
witches
they
are
witches.
mean, so Beau could be a witch.
Witches aren't
Maybe
real.
you have to be a witch
Witches
to
aren't
be
real,
a
but ghosts
counselor.
are real.
Yes.
Get it together, Gomez. Not everything can be real or fake just because you say so.
Bernard, go
Yeah,
get your inhaler. You
Gomez.
sound like you're hyperventilating.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right.
We came to play games, not to scare each other.
Cadence.
Why can't we do both?
Scared.
Truth or dare? Come on, Cadence.
Truth.
You don't
That's
have to play if you don't
boring.
want to.
No,
Okay.
If you don't want to
Fine.
play, you don't have to.
Then what else are we gonna do? It's raining outside.
I have an idea.
What?
What?
So, you know how Miss Gertie doesn't like it when we're in the ropes course when she's not there?
Yeah.
I think she's hiding something in the woods by the ropes course, and I think we should all go. We should all sneak over there and
But
go.
what if she catches us?
We're
What
not
if
allowed
we
to
get
leave
hurt
the
on the
cabin.
course?
Oh my god.
Come on,
Byron, you baby.
are you all gonna be a bunch of squares? Come on.
I like squares.
Squares is
They
a
have
good
4
shape.
sides.
Ugh, Byron, you're just.
Okay.
I swear to God, sometimes you act like you're like 5 years old.
Anna Hare, it's fine. We'll just leave them here alone with the ghost, and you and I'll go and investigate the rope
No,
course.
no.
No, I don't want to stay with the
No.
ghost.
Well, guess you're coming with us then.
Can we make it really quick though? Just really quick. Just look and then come back. Because then no one will know we're gone, and then we can look and we can come back.
Okay. We'll
That's
look
a really
until we
smart
find Miss
idea.
Gertie's secret, and then we'll come back.
Yeah. Guaranteed, she is hiding something out there.
She's really quiet. Like, do you think she's keeping secrets?
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
a witch,
I mean, I
so-
think all adults kind of keep secrets, says Bernard, as he definitely takes Candace's hand and Byron's hand, and like they huddle close and just like glaring, glare.
Let's
I'm
just
gonna
go
look
fast.
at the. I'm gonna look at the cabinet that I'm still sitting next to, and then look over at Byron. I think she really likes you.
Oh, That's mean, Gomez.
I'm not kidding.
Oh my god. What if she cuts my head off in our sleep?
I think she likes babies.
Well,
You're not a baby. You can walk
Yeah.
and talk.
No,
and,
Byron is a baby. No, Byron is a baby.
I'm not a baby.
If Byron's a bully, then if Byron's a baby, then you're a bully.
Yeah.
Fine. Prove me wrong then. Come with us to the ropes course. Look for Miss Gertie's secret.
Okay.
At least there won't be a scary lady in a cabinet. Just
She'll
a scary
probably be
Miss
here when
Gertie.
we get back, though.
You're the worst, Gomez.
I heard that there were zombies in the forest at one point, too. I haven't seen one yet, though.
God.
So, like, we shouldn't need to worry about that.
That's silly, Gomez. Zombies aren't real. They're just in, like, comic books and stuff. Now you're just doing it on purpose.
My brother sleepwalks, and it looks like he's a zombie, so maybe that's what you saw.
It was like a lot of them,
Sleepwalking
though.
happens. Yeah.
That's why it's
Maybe-
so smelly in there. It's the
Maybe-
rotting flesh.
Maybe it was like Amalia, like Miss Amalia sleepwalking. I don't know. She's kind of weird.
She's a ghost.
Okay,
I,
what?
You just said
I thought you
ghosts
just
weren't real.
I thought you don't believe in ghosts.
Well, have you seen her, though? I mean,
So you
with the
believe in this
hair?
one ghost.
This one ghost in particular. Are we
Yeah.
walking towards the tree line at this
think
point? in
Yeah,
time?
imagine
I
this
picture us, like,
conversation's happening like
whispering.
while we're going.
Yeah.
We're doing that
Bernard?
little kid whisper where everyone's whispering as loud as you can talk.
Bernard has a camper's headlamp light thing. So he can have his hands free.
Cadence has decided to just grab whoever's nearest, which is probably just Gomez, and like just has a hand, like it's fine. No one's gonna
Bernard
hurt me. I'm
looks-
protected.
Rushed.
I think Anna Hare is maybe one of the like slightly older kids of this group, and they think they're so cool. They like got their first jean jacket. They have like 2 patches on the jacket now, and they're so they think that they're like I think like maybe like 11 or 12 years old at this point. So they're kind of like in that phase, and so they're like hands in the pockets, like confidently leading everybody out, not really trying too hard to sneak because I think they're just like. No, we got this. We can do this.
You're wearing
Gomez
your
is
first
literally
pair of boots. Your Doc Martin.
Gomez is like 2 steps behind Anahara, and also like 6 months younger. So they've been going to camp together for a couple of years, and Gomez has like a really big crush on them. Just it's bad, and it's super obvious to all the adults. They're like, "Oh, you little kids." So like. With Anahara leading the pack, and then Cadence coming up and like trying to grab my hand, I'll kind of like shake it off and instead just encourage you to hold on to like the hem of my shirt.
I take it
follow
and
that
the
way.
entire time I'm just like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm protected. It's like Gomez. It's gonna be fine, right? There's no ghosts here, and they're not
I
gonna
think
follow
your
us.
sticker fell off.
Where?
No, I don't see it, but it's not where it was before.
And you pan over and you see Anahara has the sticker in their hand that they're hiding from.
No. I can't be out here if I don't have my sticker. We have to go back. We have to go back. We have to look for it. We have to go back.
Okay, you can go back all by yourself.
No.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. Make sure.
Come
that
on,
you have
guys,
your
this is
sticker.
gonna
No,
be
come on.
super
Nobody's
quick.
going back. Nobody's going back. We're all gonna go. We'll be fine,
it's
and then
right
we'll come
there.
back.
We shouldn't split up.
Exactly.
The ropes course looks normal. It's fine. See, like, we can go back now. It's just dark.
Is that a skull
Where?
What?
over there?
And I think Anahara like runs over to where Gomez is pointing, and probably at the base of a tree, maybe there is a small like rodent skull, long decayed from like a rat or something that had died here and just been left. Dude, oh my god. Yes,
Don't
this
touch
is
it. It's
proof.
probably like covered in like germs and stuff.
Miss Gertie is a
Yeah.
witch. Clearly.
Don't
Well,
touch
leave
it.
it alone.
And
Why else would there be a skull out here?
Because things, it's nature.
Whoa, did you just see something move?
Cadence is full on pulling on the hem of your shirt. We have to go back. We have to go back.
No, right over there.
Like Byron and Bernard are like clutching each
Like
other.
holding on to each other.
And I think we sort of like pan out as we see these kids just like terrified. Half of them terrified, the other half like purposely trying, I think, to scare the others, just like playing around the ropes course. And maybe it's at that exact moment that the lightning bolt strikes the one tree and splits it.
And then Gomez needs new pants.
It's that wild cut and run as everyone bolts back to the cabin.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to take the final line then?
I think we all run, hissing and terrified, and we get to the cabin. There's that quiet as we're all huffing and panting, and Brian's just like, I think we should go to bed. It's getting late.
And that's where we'll leave our story for now. I want to give a quick thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to our subscribers and our supporters on Patreon. And of course, thank you to these wonderful cast of players. That was amazing. If you're interested in learning more about Gehenna Gaming, join our Discord or visit gehennagaming.com. But other than that, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.